Hi everyone. Today I will cover a new topic called projectile motion, and in this topic we will fill a lot of things and that will be helpful for you upcoming session. My dear, once you will go with this topic you will find that what is projectile? What is projectile? First you have to understand this concept, then I will go with this one. See, if you are taking any object and you are just throwing it obliquely, means you have taken any object and if I will throw it obliquely in any direction, in which velocity of that object and the acceleration are not collinear. Collinear, everybody know? That is, angle should be 0 and 180 degree. So, the first point is, if you are just throwing any object in obliquely direction, obliquely you are throwing any object and if their velocity, that is velocity of projection and the acceleration are not collinear, then body will be considered as a projectile path, right? So first you have to understand this concept, what is projectile. Under this you can say that acceleration should be constant and covered the curved path, then the motion will be considered as projectile motion. Now you can think upon this one. Acceleration should be constant and it should form a path, that is curved path. Sorry, constant, and it should make a curved path. Then the motion will be considered as projectile motion. And let us suppose with the diagram it will be helpful for you. Suppose I have taken any object and it has been thrown up like this. So what you will find, I have thrown this object with velocity u. Then you will say, if it is going to be thrown with velocity u with a certain angle called theta, then you can break this velocity in the vector form, that is the x component will become, already knowing people, u cos theta, and its y component will become u sin theta. Okay. But question coming in our mind, who is responsible for traveling this path with respect to this object? What are the things? These are the things, whatever I have written here. See, once you will take an object and you will throw it with velocity u, you will find that when it is going to when it is going to be in a curved path, you will find that this velocity is going to be decreases with respect to height. Actually, the thing is that if you want to understand the concept of projectile, you have to understand that projectile is basically the combination of horizontal motion, that is under the gravity, whatever we have understood in 1D, and vertical and horizontal component, that is known as, I have written in the short form, you can say that u cos theta, whatever the things I have taken here. So its horizontal component is u cos theta, and the vertical component, whatever you have, vertical motion you have understood. This concept, when these two combines together, that is vertical motion and horizontal motion combine together to give projectile motion. Once you will feel it, you will gain all the concept. See, what you have done here, in vertical motion, when object is thrown up with velocity u, it is when it will reach at the highest point, it will becomes 0. That is, it is going to be decrease with respect to height. Once again, when it is coming back, it is going to be increase, but direction gets changed. Right? Same here, you will find that when you throw this object or throw this ball, let it be a ball, you will find that at the highest point, its vertical velocity, here is also vertical velocity. Vertical velocity is going to be decreased and it will become 0. But what do you think about the horizontal component at the highest point? It will remain unchanged. It will remain same, right? So you can say that it will become equal to u cos theta itself. So you can take the feeling from this concept up to there, okay? So here you will find that once again it is going to be decreased and it is going to gain 0. Again, when you will come back, you will find that at the end position it is again going to be changed, but direction is going to change, but the value is going to be increased from 0 to the ground. So basically these are the illustrations. Once you will find that in vertical motion, if you are going to compare the projectile motion, you will find such type of concept as similar with this one. But with respect to horizontal motion, this u cos theta value will becomes always remain same. Suppose I will take at time t, what is the value of this velocity? Then you will say that at time t, if I am taking this position, this will becomes always same, that is constant, u cos theta, and this will decrease with respect to certain value. That's why angle is going to be changed. Suppose here it is, if I will take 60 degree, it will becomes, you will get after time be 30 degree, like that, and this value by is going to be decreased, that is e sin theta will decrease. So you have understood this concept that basically the projectile motion is the combination of vertical motion as well as horizontal motion. So these are the things. Similarly, once at time t you have find, once again if you will go to the highest point, it will become 0 and there is an acceleration going to be taking just below that one, that is g. Next, you will take the sign negative, that depends upon the situation. Next point is that again this horizontal component becomes remain same at each point and it is going to be increase, it is going to be remains same. In this way, projectile path is going to be covered by any object. So you can take the feeling of this concept here also. Velocity and acceleration are not collinear, because everybody knows once the velocity and acceleration becomes collinear, it will cover a straight line path. But if it is not going to be a collinear, suppose g is acting in the downward direction, velocity with certain angles, then what type of path will be covered? Automatically its speed get what? Decreases and after some time, when it gets to the maximum height, it will becomes change. Say, so you can say that this is your u, right? And this this is your u. So what type of path you are going to follow this one? Like this only. So these things can be filled in this diagram also. Acceleration should be constant and makes a curved path. Here you are finding that acceleration as each and every point, that is g always in the downward direction, and it becomes remain same, that is constant, and makes a curved path and these all combines together to give the correct idea of projectile motion. So now, once you have understood the concept of projectile motion, there a term called few parameters you can fill here. What are the parameters you will find? The as usual in the vertical motion, whatever you have calculated. Just now, before going to that one, first I will discuss with the concept of their important parameters with respect to x-axis, with respect to y-axis, right? So once you will go with the concept, what are the things you are going to get with respect to x-axis? Suppose if I will say what is the value of horizontal velocity, that is ux, we will write u cos theta. I am just writing with for projectile motion. Next, ax, that will remains what? 0. Why? Because if you will take here, this is the value of the component will becomes g cos theta, and it is perpendicular. So value of cos 90 is what? 0. So it will becomes 0. Next, Vx. What is the value of Vx? Apply your brain, you will get from the vertical motion concept, that is we use it this one, v is equal to u plus at, and this will be used here. We will find u ux plus g t. Here you will write as minus g t. Same thing, you will find what is the value of x, that is the value of x, and x you will find by using the another equation of vertical motion, ut plus half at square. So from there you will find x is equal to ux into t minus half g t square. What is the value of ux? You already have done this, already been stated, right? In the same manner, once you will go with the concept to find the parameters along y-axis, uy will becomes u sin theta, and ay will becomes what? Always g. Next, vy will becomes u y minus g t. Already you have given the value. Next, y, that is how much distance covered in this, that is equal to, we will use the same concept here also. You will get u y t minus half gt square. In this way, you can calculate the value with respect to their x-axis and y-axis. Next, what are the, why we are going to calculate this one? Because these are the components that by which you can get the basic idea of the projectile, and it will helpful for you calculation, that is together with your concept. Next, the thing is that after this one, we are just going to find the important parameters help, and we will compare here as usual in the same manner. We will find that in vertical motion, first parameter we will use as time of flight. Time of flight. So what you will get, time of flight basically in vertical parameter you will get u upon g. Now you will find in this projectile motion, if you will want to calculate the value of time of flight, what we have to do? First, consider the same. You have to reach here at the maximum point. So this will become time of ascent, and this will become time of descent. Combined together to give the total value of time of flight. So here in the same manner, this is time of ascent, this is time of descent, and combined together it will give the value u upon g, but I have written here only t is equal to u upon g by c. Time of ascent, if you will calculate for projectile motion, who is responsible for calculating the time value? You will find u. What is u? That is the vertical component. That is uy are responsible for calculating the time of ascent, and it will become u sin theta upon g. In the same manner, time of descent, if you will calculate, that is this time from here to here, it will becomes again u by g, and it comes u sin theta upon g. Combining together t ascent plus t descent, we will get the value 2 times of u sin theta upon g. So important thing is that time of flight basically depends upon the vertical velocity, that is u sin theta component of the. So time of flight depends. Next, in the same manner, in vertical motion, we are going to calculate the value of maximum height, h max. How we will calculate the value of maximum height? We will find that there was a calculation for maximum height, that is value of h